AM 1430 KRGI, 105.5 FM. Good morning, I'm Brian Gallagher. This is Community Connection. Thursdays, we turn our focus to education. Got a couple of guests on hand today from Grand Island Public Schools, and I think this one's going to be a whole lot of fun. First, we get to welcome Alex Kemnitz. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Brian.
And then you have a guest today, too, Ivan Baldwin, a junior at Grand Island Senior High School, and he's here to talk about our topic today. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Good to be here.
Let's talk about robotics. Got a big one coming up this weekend. Alex, I'm going to let you kind of set the stage, and then I'm going to pick Ivan's brain a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So this Saturday at the Grand Island Senior High East Gym, we're hosting the Clash on the Platte Robotics Tournament. We're looking to get 42 teams in the East Gym to have pretty much a day of robotics mayhem. It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
you're going to squeeze 42 teams inside the East Gym.
Absolutely.
All at once.
Yep. We're going to have a robotics tournament. We've got a couple sets of 12 by 12 foot game areas. And we put, it's a 2-versus-2 robotics competition, and teams work together against another set of teams to complete some objectives. So this year they have to grab some stakes, put rings in the stakes, move these stakes around. At the end, they're going to climb a big ladder. So it's a really, really cool spectator event.
It already sounds like it. So you're going to have these 12 by 12 areas. Mm-hmm. So I'm already trying to get the vision of the picture of that. But then you're also having these teams strategizing on how to make their robots do these functions strategically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And then I would imagine there's a little offense and defense involved in all of this. That's part of the strategy?
Yeah. So you think that... So how it's laid out in the morning, so we're going to start about 10 a.m., 10:30 in the morning, and the morning's laid out where they're going to have random teams paired with and against random teams to kind of set up who's the best teams in the tournament. In the afternoon, we form a huge single elimination bracket out of all those teams, and they get to pick their teammates or their alliance. So throughout the day, teams are not only trying to win, but they're also trying to figure out is which teams do they work the best with as well.
Oh, fun. All right, Ivan, now it's your turn to kind of fill in on this. How'd you get involved in robotics in the first place?
Well, before 9th grade started, my mom handed me a sheet of paper with a list of elective classes on it. And I saw one of them was robotics, and I thought it looked pretty cool. I wanted to give it a shot. And so I signed up for the class. I met Mr. Kemnitz and found out he's a pretty cool dude. And he talked me into joining the club about halfway through the year. And for a little while, we weren't very competitive, but this year we've really ramped up. And we actually won a tournament 2 weeks ago.
And that was up at O'Neill, correct?
Yep.
And according to Mr. Kemnitz, you guys have come up with a robot that is a tough one to beat.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's got an arm on it that can fold down, and it can push the game objects around or block other robots. And it's got an intake that picks up the rings, and then we have a goal clamp on the back that picks up the mobile goals, and the intake just feeds the rings onto it. It's really cool to watch.
Yeah, the goal behind their bot is as quickly and efficiently as possible to pretty much vacuum up these like 6-inch wide rings and dunk them on the stake. It's impressive to watch, again, just how fast and efficient that Ivan's team and their robot is with this.
Okay. So how many groups do you have from senior high that participate in this tournament?
Yeah.
You have multiple teams?
Yep. So the Islander Robotics team has about 30 students on it this year. We have 5 competitive teams.
All right. So now your specific team has its own name, correct?
Yes, so Grand Island is the 8151 team, and each team is assigned a letter. My team is 8151W, and then we're also allowed to name the teams. We can choose our own name for it, and we are parts on order.
And we joke because whenever they ask me for stuff, I say, don't worry, the parts are in order.
Yep.
You know, somehow this just all makes perfect sense. Absolutely. I can see that the wheels are constantly turning with you guys. Mm-hmm. This is really cool. So you've got a day filled with competition. You're going to have all of these different individual competitions, but that sets the stage for the big event that's going on in the afternoon. And you're coming off a great showing at O'Neill and hopeful that you're going to be the trophy team that comes out of this Saturday. So this is going to be a day filled with mechanics, strategy, and a little competition.
Absolutely.
Competition's always fun.
Yep, that's why we do it. There's nothing that that makes your heart beat faster than being on a team or watching your team be in the final round.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny, and on radio I try to describe this as much as I can, but watching these two talk, and when they look at each other, I can feel the energy. I just see it. I mean, I can. They're getting themselves ready for Saturday and urging you to take advantage of this on Saturday. So I'm going to urge you to take advantage of this on Saturday too. So if folks do want to come watch, what do they do?
Yeah. So our goal with robotics is to get this sort of competition, this experience to as many families in Grand Island as possible. So we are offering admission of just a free will donation. Give if you can. It helps support our club. But if a family wants to go, just show up to the Grand Island Senior High East Gym. That's the one on Lafayette Avenue.
So should they come in through the parking lot area there in Lafayette?
Yep,
okay.
They should.
Okay.
And then right inside the doors there, we're gonna have the bleachers pulled out, and you just get to hang out and you get to watch this happen.
And if you haven't been in the East Gym lately, they have done some remodeling. There are some relatively new bleachers that have gone in. So you look at it, you can still feel the tradition and the history coming out of there, but yet you see that it has been brought into the 21st century. And I would imagine that the close confines that are there are really going to add to the atmosphere of the competition that's going to be coming up all day on Saturday.
Yeah, well, we like the East Gym. It gets a little bit noisy. We like that. You know, we like to hear the teams hoop and holler and yell, and we like the East Gym because it gets our spectators as close as possible to the robots.
So more crowd noise is optional and appreciated, and that means you're invited to come. So do you have to have a last-minute pep talk now with your crew with parts on order? You want to make sure that they're all ready to go. Is there some final words you give them as one of the junior members or a coach or whatever, however, captain, whatever you want to describe yourself as?
Really, it kind of just depends on how the day's going. I mean, sometimes we do really bad, sometimes we do really well, and especially with the alliances being randomized for the qualifiers, it can be pretty crazy in the mornings, and then in the elimination rounds, especially before our finals match, we did exchange some words. It was very intense.
As long as it's words and not rogue robots, I guess I'm feeling pretty good about that. So, this sounds fascinating. It sounds like it could absolutely just be a hoot, and so you are invited to join them on Saturday. That'll be this week. Go in the east side of Senior High, just off of Lafayette, through the parking lot there, and you get into the East Gym, and you can stay for a day filled with fun, frivolity, and all kinds of flinging, I'm sure, going on as the robots maneuver and go through their highs and lows, and we'll see how it all works out. But with that many teams and that many students on hand, I think this is going to be absolutely crazy. Now, what's all of this going to turn into for your future?
Well, I'm sure it would go great on a resume, saying I won a robotics tournament. But honestly, I plan to go into the automotive field, so I mean it's good for my mechanical mind. I also really enjoy building robots, so
I think he's going to have a way to find his own parking spot whenever he needs it. All he has to do is push a button, and when you come back, oh, it was him.
Yep.
You know, there is a strategy to all of this. Somehow it all figures out. So, all right. Alex Kemnitz heads up the robotics at Grand Island Senior High. Good to have you here. Ivan Baldwin, part of the senior high team. Good luck this weekend. I hope it all goes well. And I'll be excited to hear about future competitions about robotics at Grand Island Senior High. Fellas, thanks for coming in.
Yep. Thanks, Brian.
Good morning from AM 1430 KRGI 105.5 FM.